and I was looking at the lineup, and you know, we heard from Artemis, amazing Artemis, and we heard from Tuan Nguyen, and we heard from Julie, and I was looking at that lineup and I was a little bit intimidated. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna do this topic on stage? Because all these people, they have inspired me so much in the past 3.5 years that I've been in this business. But I'm going to try to do my best. But what I'm trying to say is I'm very blessed and honored and very humbled to be on this stage with you today. This is my second time on Success Summit stage. The first time I was an MC back in July, and this is my first time as a speaker. So I would like to take this moment and thank you LTG, thank you System 7 for allowing me to have the chance and to be up here, be in front of you, and having the opportunity to share with you my journey in Nu Skin. So once again, thank you. So to me, what is taking action? A lot of people say taking action, action. But what is action? So to me, action is actually the distance between your dreams and reality. Do you agree?
Yep.
So if you have a lot of dreams, Artemis talked about dreams, that was amazing. And if we have a lot of dreams and we think, I want this, I want that, I want to go to Alaska, I want to, be successful, I want to be a team elite, a blue diamond, I want to be a North Sichuan ambassador, chief ambassador. But if you don't do anything about it, it's just a dream. And 18 years ago, when I was 11, I came to the United States. At that time, one of my first frustration being in the United States was not being able to speak English very well. And I was in the 6th grade, and kids can be very mean because when you don't speak English, they make fun of you and you have no idea what they're saying to you. And they can be very mean to you. They can say things to the teacher and you can't tell the teacher and you can't clarify yourself. You can say, I didn't do that because you don't speak the language. So I was really frustrated the first 6 months that I was in the United States. And I said to myself, I can't let people do this to me. I don't like being bullied. I don't like people telling me things and I have no idea what they're saying, because they could say good thing or bad thing, and most of the time probably a bad thing. So I made a decision and I said, I have to learn this language. In fact, I made a decision that I have to master this language. And that when I was 11. And to me, at that time, it was a big dream. And to a lot of us, it might seem really small. Speaking English is probably like your nature, right? It's something that's so easy. You just open your mouth and you speak English. But to me, that was a huge dream. And I knew that if I wasn't able to do this, I was going to not kill myself, but but I'm probably going to be very upset at myself. But I set that as a dream, and then I start setting a lot of goals. I start saying, okay, back then I had to take ESL classes, so some of you might be familiar with that, English as a second language classes, and I said, okay, I'm just going to take ESL for 2 years, and then I'm going to transition into high school, and I'm going to take honor English. And that was my goal, right? Sometimes when you set a goal, you don't reach it the first try. But by the time I was a sophomore in high school, I was in honor English. And to be amongst my peers who had spoke the language since they were born, that was like a dream come true for me. And one of the most amazing things that happened to me was, at that moment I realized my dreams can come true if I work hard at it. So I set a bigger goal. At that moment I said, now I want to teach the language. I don't want it to speak it. I know there's many people out there are probably having problem with speaking English correctly. So I said, okay, I want to be a teacher. And I want to teach the language. And I don't care how hard I have to do, whatever I have to do, I have to do it. So I set that goal, that next goal. And what happened was I took action. I set goal again, and I took action. I took classes, necessary classes. And in 2011, I got a master in English to teach English. And telling you this story is to tell you that, action It's not something that you do, hey, today I do action and tomorrow the result come, right? So from 11 to 25, that's 14 years for me to get my master's. So it's consistent action every single day. So I remember the first time that I had to take action, when I first learned the language, I had to read a book that I had no idea what it was talking about. I remember the first ever book that I read was by Mark Twain. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this book, Huckleberry Finn. You guys heard that book? Do you think that's a difficult book to read? That's really difficult. That was the hardest book that I picked up, but I finished it in 1 month, not understanding a word of it. Does anyone like reading something they have no idea what they're reading? No. So I had no clue what the book, of course later on I read in one of my, in college, I had to read it again. But when that was in 6th grade or 7th grade, I can't remember exactly, but I had to read that book. And I read it, didn't understand a word, but I kept reading. And I kept reading, and I kept reading. And I start saying things, I start speaking more. That means I'm taking more action. I'm speaking more, I'm reading more, I'm listening more. I'm listening to television, the radio. I just want to catch up on words that I probably can learn, so I can learn the language. So I took massive action for 14 years to get my master in English in 2011. So when we're talking about action, what am I really talking about? Number one, you have to dream big. Artemis talked about this morning. It was amazing. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but it was amazing, right? Yes. And dream big. So I did dream big. So 3.5 years ago, I came into this business, and I was introduced by my sponsor, Blue Diamond Tang Dang, and he told me that, Katrina, maybe you should look into this. And keep in mind that my background as an English teacher, I had no idea what business meant. I had no concern for money. I had no concern for business. I didn't think that I was suitable to do this business. So I said, oh, maybe I don't want to. So he told me, why don't you just think about it as something, to help your family, for your future. Plant a dream in me. And so I started dreaming big. And I said, I think it's possible if I can do this business and be successful, get some money, and maybe I can retire my husband. So later on, he doesn't have to go to work. I don't have to go to work. And I probably can help my family. So that dream started to bud in my head 3.5 years ago when I got into this business. And at that time, I had no idea how to do it. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So the next thing I did was I set goals. I started saying, okay, so what's the first step? First step is to become an executive. So I set goal, took some action, become executive in 3 months, and then my next step was, I gotta set another goal, I gotta be a Ruby. And do you know how many times I set my goal to be Rubies? Too many. I set my goal to be a Ruby 8 times. I said, I wanna be a Ruby. I wanna be a Ruby. I wanna be a Ruby. And I realized that, setting goals is not, yes, it's very important, but then if I don't do anything about it, it's not going to get me anywhere, right? So I said it 8 times, and I remember one of my mentors always mentioned to me and told me this, that you have to set goal. You can change the plan on how to get your goals, but don't ever change the goal. So I focused on that goal, and I said, okay, I want to be a Ruby. 8 times later, 2 years later, and one day I decided I got to do something different. I got to step out of my comfort zone. I have to do something different. And within 6 weeks after that decision, I became a Ruby. And after that 6 weeks, and I said, okay, my next goal is I want to be an emerald, and I want to be a diamond, and I want to be a blue diamond, and I definitely have to be a blue diamond before I get married. And that was my next goal. I would have to be a blue diamond before I got married. And we got married, my husband and I, Khong, we got married back in September 2014. And I knew I had to be a blue diamond before September, but I missed that goal. I said I have to be a blue diamond 2 weeks before we get married, because I don't want to worry about it, the marriage thing. So I had to be, I have to be done 2 weeks before we get married. But by the time we got married, I actually didn't get my goal. But 3 days later, and I said, you know what? I want to be a blue diamond in October even if it's after we got married, but we have to be Blue Diamond this month. You know, it's within the month. I think it still works. It still works for my goal. So we are going to be Blue Diamond. So the last 3 days of the month, instead of going on a honeymoon and enjoying our time as, you know, newlyweds, right? A lot of people call and say, hey, you having fun yet? No. We worked. We worked. And the last 3 days of the month, in September 2014, we qualify as Blue Diamond. So why am I telling you this? Is you have to take massive action. It doesn't matter, your dream has to be super big, right? I have to use that word, super big. And you have to set really outrageous goals so you can get it. But if you don't take massive action, you're not getting it. Massive action that they take every day, and TJ point out something that, and both Jennifer and TJ point out something that I really feel that we all need to do, is the daily action plan. It's the daily action plan of you need to know what you're going to do tomorrow. TJ spent at least 15 minutes every night looking over his plan for the next morning. And he knows the moment he wakes up, he knows exactly what he needs to do. And he wants to share with me, every morning, the first thing he does in the morning is to wake up to a conference call. We have conference call, you know, in California at 7 o'clock in the morning. And he said the first thing he does is he wake up and listen to conference call. But if one morning, if he missed the conference call, he's very mad at himself. And he said, I have to re-record, I have to listen to record it again and again, again and again. And that's how he takes massive action every day. So what am I saying here? So before you take massive action, of course you have to dream big. You have to know the why. Why are you doing this business? Why are you doing what you're doing? And why are you, why do you want to be successful? Because someone told me once that if you know the why, the how will come. It does not matter how you're going to do it. Let that be later. But the first thing you need to do is know the why, and it has to be big, and the how will come. Number two, you have to set goals. You have to shoot for the moons, okay? And even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. You've heard that many times? So shoot for the moon. Set some goals. You have to have the goal. And like Tuan said earlier, you have to write it out, you have to post it on the wall, you have to see it every single day, you have to memorize it, and you have to visualize it every single day, right? To see those goals. And then the third thing is, you have to take daily, continuous, and consistent action. I forgot massive. Massive, daily, consistent, continuous action every day. Did I say daily? Yeah, every day. So if you don't do it every day, you're never going to get your goals, and you're never going to get your dreams. Do you agree? Yes. Okay. So here's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Successful people keep taking action. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Right? You can ask all the team leads and the Blue Diamonds in the front right here. You can come to them and ask them, what is your journey like? You heard from Carl and Lena. You heard from Wen. Yesterday, I was really inspired by Wen. And yesterday you heard from Sean Brady. Sean Brady is an amazing, amazing leader. He set the goal, he took massive action, he got it, and then he fell. Then you take massive action again, he got it, and then he fell. How many times did he go through that? Did you guys listen to his story last night? Over and over and over again. But you know what? He didn't quit. Because right now he's about to hit the $20 million mark, if I remember correctly, right? He's almost there. Actually, he's already there. He's just almost to the next goal. So, successful people keep taking action. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Okay? But before we can take massive action for the new people in this room, before you take massive action, a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Một cái cuộc hành trình ngàn dặm các anh chị phải bắt đầu với cái bước đầu tiên. Don't think that you have to do something huge. Don't think that you're going to have to do something grand. Don't think you have to be a team lead tomorrow. Don't think you're going to have to be, I don't know, $1 million circle tomorrow, because that's not going to happen. But you have to take the first step. You got yourself here. That's the first step. Now take another first step. Make a commitment. See a goal, see a dream. Make that commitment for yourself so you can achieve that dream and that goal. Right? So for you to be able to travel 1,000 miles, you have to take that first step. First step means everything. So one last thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of us are very familiar with this. I grew up with Homer Simpson. We don't want to be like Homer, right? We don't. I don't. So take massive action. Because if you don't, you might end up being like Homer. And that's not a pretty sight. It's not a pretty sight at all. So my last note for you is, if you are not going to do what you need to do today, you are not going to get what you want tomorrow. So do what you need today, take massive action, and aim for Alaska, because that's where I'm going to see you next, right? I will see you in Alaska!
Alaska! Alaska! Alaska!
Thank you.